With all the new things going on related to Facebook ads, CBOs are without a doubt one of the newest, most advanced features that seems to be going crazy. Now, a lot of people have requested a video talking about one of my specific CBO strategies, so that is exactly what I'm going to break down with you today, a CBO strategy that is currently making me on track for 7 figures over the next 12 months. Hey, what's going on everyone? Hayden here, coming back at you with a brand new video. And in this one, we're gonna be talking about CBOs, commonly known as campaign budget optimizations. Now, if you've looked into Facebook ads at all in the last 7 or 8 months, you'll know that this has been the talk of the town, right? The newest big change among a lot of different changes that Facebook has enabled over the last 6 to 7 months. Now, for those of you who don't know what a CBO is, we're gonna get into that here in a moment, but I wanna make it very clear, almost a slight disclaimer. CBOs are not my primary source of revenue for my e-commerce businesses. While they are a great tool and I do like using them, I personally have always preferred using AdSet budget optimization, which again, we're gonna get into the differences. I've always preferred using that, so I allocate way more of my budget to running that. As well as my specific CBO strategy doesn't exactly enable me to spend as much money as quickly as a regular AdSet budget would or could. So with that being said, I want to just go through here. I'm going to show you some screenshots of exactly what I do, how it works. I'm not going to hold anything back. This is just what I do to build off of stores' ad accounts that are already running. So no matter what you're trying to run Facebook ads for, it could be an e-commerce store, a client, or any sort of Facebook marketing. This is exactly what I do and how I've been able to scale, because there's a lot of different forms of scaling and you want to make sure you're doing all of them, or at least testing them, and CBOs are definitely one great way to do that. So make sure to smash the like button down below. Let's help this break 2,000 likes on this video. Happy holidays, by the way. I hope everyone's doing extremely well and had an amazing year. Use this strategy into 2020. This is something I just have constantly been doing over like the last 4 or 5 months. And I mean, it's worked with a really high success rate. So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into the specifics on exactly what it is, how it works, how you can do it really easily. And it's not exactly something that's too crazy. You don't have to put a lot of money behind it if you don't want to. It just gives you the opportunity to start testing out CBOs and to see exactly what it is. So let's jump into what is a CBO and what is the difference between that and an AdSet budget optimization. So it's really simple actually. Think of your Facebook ads, if you guys don't have experience with it yet, as 3 main categories, okay? You have your campaign, your ad set, and your ads. Forget about your ads for right now. You have your campaigns and your ad sets, okay? So ad set budget optimization means you could have a campaign running and you could consider one campaign as one product or one type of audience, whatever you want. Just imagine a campaign and inside of there, you're running 10 different ads. So if each of those ads are at $10 a day, that campaign is spending $100 a day. But that's not how a CBO works, okay? Because those ad sets are individually limited to spending $10 a day. Now, if you do a $100 CBO with 10 ad sets, you might not spend $10 on each one. Because if you set the budget at the campaign level instead of $10 per ad set, what happens is Facebook is able to pick and choose. They might say, hey, we're gonna spend $23 here, $2 here, $9 here, $13 here, and they get to kind of rank that however they want. Now, a lot of people are like, wait, that's a good thing. And there's other people like, wait, that's a bad thing. There's both sides to it. Just like anything else, it is great to have Facebook working in your favor, helping you optimize. But think about it. How does Facebook make money? Besides clearly illegally reselling people's data, their primary legit method of making money is simply by the money we as advertisers spend through their platform. So if you're spending $100 a day on a CBO and someone else is spending $5,000 a day and you're in the same audience selling a similar product, well, they're gonna make sure that that person is getting results in priority over you almost every single time. So just keep in mind that the more freedom you give Facebook, it can help you and it probably will. And that's why it's worth testing, but it won't always help your cost per purchase or your cost per acquisition or lead or whatever you're going for. It's not always going to make that go down to make your profit margin go up. It unfortunately doesn't work like that. Facebook likes to split things up. They like to, if you're doing really well, they'll kind of weave a couple customers right past so that they don't buy and they push them to someone else. Remember, their algorithm wants to make sure that as many advertisers as possible are at least breaking even and consistently staying inside of their platform spending money, okay? So let's get into my specific strategy. I want to show you a couple of screenshots and give you an example. So right before I do that real quick, just make sure to drop the like button, but imagine this, picture this. A campaign with multiple ad sets. For this example, I'm going to show you, I think there was 5 or 6, right? So you have 5 ad sets running. Let's say that 3 of those were doing extremely well. Okay, one campaign, 3 out of the 5 ad sets are doing well. The other ones are a little more expensive. Maybe they're not quite profitable, or at least nowhere near as good. Well, take a look at this quick example, okay? So imagine that is the situation you find yourself in. You see how I've selected the 3 ad sets that have the lowest cost per purchase. They're doing quite well in comparison to how much we're selling the product for. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and highlight all of those. Now, this is where it gets into being situational for you, because if you have 30 ad sets inside of a campaign, you don't need to select all of the ones that are good. You could maybe take the best 3 or the best 5. Again, you don't have to put a lot of your budget behind this if you don't want to. Make sure it works first. Don't just because some random guy, which can be me online, is telling you to do something, doesn't mean that you should just go spend a bunch of money on it, right? Make sure it works for you first. So start small, maybe 3 to 5 ad sets, but watch this example. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna see this, you're gonna select these, and up there in the left, you're going to hit duplicate. So you're duplicating all 3 of these ad sets. Now, normally when you do this action, you would want to be just duplicating them inside the current campaign. Maybe you wanna change something, break something down, or run more of those ads that are working. But what we're gonna do, we're gonna hit new campaign. Okay, and you can name this whatever you want. I mean, an easy example would be all ad sets off of blank, or all working ad sets off of, just so you kind of know where it's coming from. You can trace back those original ad sets and see how they're performing if you ever want to look back on them. From there, you're gonna hit duplicate down there in the bottom that you guys can clearly see. You're just gonna do one copy of it. You're duplicating all 3 of those in this example, all 3 of those ad sets. Now, up at the top, you're gonna notice that you're on the ad set level because that's where you started. Remember, you duplicated those ad sets. So you wanna make sure to click the CBO level, or the campaign level, and then scroll down slightly and hit enable CBOs, okay? So it's gonna say campaign budget optimization, and it's gonna be off. There's a little button. You're gonna push it so that it goes from gray to blue, okay? Really simple, you can't miss it. Now, this is where things get interesting. This is my personal strategy and what I like to do. So the easiest way to start doing CBOs, and again, this is just one of many things I do. This is the easiest way for you guys to start CBOs. Take something off those current ad sets that are working. So let's say those 3 ad sets, just as this example, were each running at $10 a day. The first CBO that I'm gonna do off of them is going to be that equivalent of a budget. So if we had 3 at $10 a day, that's $30 a day. Boom, that's exactly what the budget's gonna be on the CBO. So you're gonna run it at $30. You could go in and schedule those ad sets if you wanted to, if that's your strategy that you decide to do. And then from there, you're gonna launch. You don't need to change anything else. The reason we're not changing anything else is super simple. Those 3 ad sets were already working individually when they were ad set optimized, okay? Your budget was just at an ad set level. So now we wanna see how they'd perform if we don't change anything. All we're doing is not even completely changing, just manipulating how the exact same amount of money is being spent. This time, you're handing the controls, you're handing the reins over to Facebook. So not always is your CBOs gonna work. I have CBOs that do really, really good at a low budget. And yes, I do run CBOs that are $20 a day, $30 a day. You kind of start and you build and you can start scaling them. So I might have one that works at 20 and then I try to run it at 40, 60, 80, 100, I keep moving up. And even if it's a big audience, it doesn't always necessarily work just because I put more money behind it. So I like to focus on getting my cash. It's what I call cash cow ads. These are the ones that just sit there and they constantly produce sales, right? And I think about it, and this is all just how I think about it in my head, the profit I make from my cash cow ads is what I use as new money for testing. So if I want to duplicate a CBO that is a cash cow and I want to go launch 3 more off of that because it's working, I can test that. And maybe only one of them works. But once you turn off those other 2 and your testing is done, now your margin's going up because now you have two cash cows, right? So it's kind of like letting your margins slow down for a little bit just to find those new winners, pulling back a little bit, turning off all those ones that weren't working too great. And then from there, you can just keep doing that and moving forwards. Again, almost like a little bit of a stair stepper pattern. So the easiest way to do this is just to launch those couple of ad sets that you want. It could be 3, 5, 10, 20, whatever, and put them into a CBO. Now, like I mentioned, it's not always going to work. So something you can do to test to really be sure if it's going to work is 3 CBOs. So if you were to take those same 3 ad sets, you duplicate them once, you make a CBO, same budget equivalent as all the ad sets combined. Do one of those. Then do it again. So you have 2 of these same exact things running. You have a number 1 and a number 2. You're basically split testing with no difference. The reason you're doing this is because Facebook's going to treat everything you launch differently. So you'll notice that one of those is going to do better than the other. It's very unlikely that they're both going to have no sales. Again, anything can happen, but you're going to notice one's going to pick up more. A third thing you could do, and I would always do these at the exact same time. So when you're first launching it, you could do number 1, where it's same budget equivalent, number 2, same exact thing, and number 3, where you could take, in this example, those 3 each at $10 a day, so $30 total, and you could double it. So as you're setting the budget for the CBO, where it would automatically calculate what all the ad sets are combined, you would just double that. So you would be running this one at $60. And you would launch those as a very easy way to see what's going to work, what kind of performs better, or higher budget CBOs and kind of starting that right away, performing better on your ad account, or is it the lower budgets at the ad set budget equivalent doing better? So this is a great way that you could start testing some CBOs. The key thing is, you might have noticed, you already have to have ad sets making sales. Personally, and again, everything here is personal opinion. This is based on what I do and my own money that is being put behind my ads. I do not like to ever start out a new campaign from scratch as a CBO. So if I'm starting a brand new store and I have no data on the ad account, I don't like to launch CBOs. It's worked for me before, but it makes me uncomfortable. It's not something I really like to do, and I don't need to do it because it doesn't take me that long to really get sales on a product that's working to then properly do CBOs. I feel like I get a better margin by doing that. I don't have to really risk or feel uncomfortable doing anything on the front end. So again, everybody's different. Everybody's got their own strategy, but that would be the easiest way to get a CBO running on top of all your regular ad set budget optimizations, which people are starting to call CBOs and ABOs. I don't like it. I don't like why people are calling it that. You know, ad set budget optimization, ABOs. I don't know. It just sounds weird because that's never been brought up in the last 4 years I've been doing e-commerce. But I guess you got CBOs and you got ABOs, and you're going to have both of them running, and you can just kind of scale that way by moving into a different type of ad. In this example, a CBO, a campaign budget optimization. So it's a really simple thing. I don't want to overcomplicate this strategy. Just one quick point to leave you with, because I know people are going to ask it, and drop a like for me, I guess, just sharing everything here. But don't actually touch any of the ad sets that are inside of this CBO. So as you're starting to run this, let's say it's day 3, it's breaking even, and let's say you go inside the ad sets and 3 of those, all 3 are running. Let's say only 2 of them have sales, and the other one spent money, but it didn't get any sales. The odds of it working if you turn that one off are not very great. I've tested this on hundreds of CBOs, so I can confidently say that less than 30% of the time is it going to help you in any way. Usually it will harm you. So for me, that ratio hasn't really balanced out just by turning off one ad set and not changing anything else. So try and leave it how it is. Either it performs or it doesn't, and that's why I like to launch 2 of the same things and something where I'm increasing the budget, because I already know that those core audiences and those core ad sets are working. So if that's the case and I have plenty of data and sales coming into my pixel, I can be very confident that what I'm doing over on the CBO will work, at least in 1 or 2 of them. So test this out for yourself. If you already have sales coming in on any ad sets that are on an ad set budget level, let me know how it goes. If you have any questions or any problems along the way, feel free to either shoot me a message on Instagram. It's just @Bowles. It's my last name that you can see here on YouTube, or just drop it in the comment section down below. Both myself and a bunch of other people who watch this channel, a lot of whom do e-commerce extremely successfully, would love to help you out, okay? So if you have any questions, if you want to start doing CBOs or ask me something about it, leave it in the comment section. That's the perfect place to put it, and make sure to drop a like. By the way, we have some really, really cool content coming towards the end of January. So make sure to stick around for that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. A lot of more like travel vlog type stuff, showing a little more of the behind the scenes of what it is I do on a day-to-day basis. That's also been requested a lot, probably a little bit more than this video, to be honest. But CBOs is a topic that always gets brought up because it is new, it is fresh, it is profitable, and it's something that you should know about, even if you're not going to take advantage of it at this current point in time. Okay, so I hope this video helped you. Hope you got some immense value from it, or at least one or two little gold nuggets that you can now go use the next time you're touching your ad account, or if you haven't even started one, down the road once you start getting sales coming in. Okay, so don't forget, I post here on the channel 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so make sure to tune in. And for those of you who want to take e-commerce on a deeper level, you want to really learn exactly how to manipulate your CBOs as well as your ad set budgets, scale those, scale high from like 5,000 a day to 10 to 20 to 30, and keep those moving up. Go ahead and check out some of the links referenced in the description. We only have 2 things down there, but the 30-day e-commerce academy is something you're going to want to look into. Hit that link, watch the short video on the page, and see if it's something that's for you. But that is the only place that I actually teach e-commerce, like really show exactly what I do, besides these light videos that are great, but they really can't get to everything in depth. So if you want like 20 or 30 hours worth of me running ads live on multiple stores, scaling, showing you the back end of my own ad accounts on my own stores that are making $10,000, $20,000 a day, then that is definitely the place for you, because we cover everything from A to Z on how to find a product, build a store, all the way through launching ads on day 1 into aggressive scaling. I give you the phone numbers and emails to my payment processors, suppliers, yada, 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 all that fun stuff. So make sure to check that out. We're doing some crazy holiday sales right now. It is half off, which has never even really been on sale. So make sure to check that out. Take advantage of it before it closes here in 2020. And with that being said, I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.